Let's go Dolphins! Something big is brewing within the walls of the Miami Dolphins facilities. I've been digging deep, and what I've uncovered paints a picture of a team in crisis, a divided locker room, and a leadership team that's crumbling from the inside out. We're talking about a quarterback under pressure, a beloved defender possibly on the trade deadline, and a head coach whose job could be lost on Monday morning. This isn't just another bad stretch. It feels like the tipping point. And when you hear the full story, you'll understand exactly why so many fans are starting to change their minds. But hey, before we dive in, do me a quick favor. If you've been following the Dolphins through thick and thin, hit that like button right now. And if you still believe there's hope for this team, comment below. Go Dolphins! We're not dead yet. Okay, now let me show you what's really going on behind the scenes in Miami. Now, let's start with the elephant in the room, Tua Tagovailoa. This week, he publicly apologized for his comments made after the crushing loss to the Chargers. And to be frank, it was a necessary apology. But just because he said the words doesn't mean the damage didn't hit deep. His exact words painted a picture of regret, taking accountability for airing internal issues, admitting that he let his emotions get the better of him, and acknowledging that as a leader, he failed to protect the team. And while that might sound noble on paper, let's call it what it really was, damage control. Because let's rewind to what he said after the game. Tua didn't just express frustration, he threw his teammates under the bus. Whether it was intentional or not, it came off like he was deflecting from his own poor performance, including throwing 3 picks, and placing the blame on a so-called lack of preparation and a fractured locker room culture. That's not leadership, that's finger-pointing. Fans and media alike saw right through it. The apology? Sure, it's a step, but it came after a major PR storm. Tua's mistake wasn't just a slip of the tongue, it opened a can of worms that this locker room didn't need. We're talking about trust being broken. When a quarterback, your captain, steps to the mic and paints a picture of dysfunction, it doesn't just stay in the media cycle, it festers inside the building. Players start questioning each other. Leaders start side-eyeing other leaders. And for a team that's already 1-5, that's the last thing they can afford. Let's not forget, this isn't the first time leadership has been questioned in Miami. And I'm not just talking about Tua. The coaching staff, especially Mike McDaniel, has been under the microscope. There's buzz going around that if the Dolphins lose to the equally struggling Cleveland Browns this weekend, McDaniel could be out by Monday morning. And quite honestly, given the trajectory and lack of discipline this team has shown, it wouldn't be a shocker. The Cleveland game isn't just a must-win, it could be a job-saving situation. And that leads me to another huge storyline, Jalen Phillips. The Dolphins' standout edge rusher has been the center of trade rumors, and it's starting to look like those whispers might become reality. Phillips, when asked about the rumors, said he wants to stay in Miami, but won't plead his case to the front office. Let that sink in. A homegrown, high-performing player who's battled through injuries, been a model teammate, and still delivers on the field, is being pushed to the trade block. Why? Because this front office knows they're not making the playoffs, and rather than commit to guys who bleed for the franchise, they're looking to stack up 3rd or 4th round picks. It's brutal. And for a guy like Phillips, who's been in Miami since his college days and plays with heart, it's a slap in the face. He's easily one of the Dolphins' best defenders this year, arguably second only to Minkah Fitzpatrick, and yet here we are. The same front office that continues to cling to a dying season is ready to offload talent that might not be here in 2 years, instead of fixing the culture or addressing the real leadership issues. And again, that all circles back to Grier. Grier continues to fail upward, and it's the players and fans who suffer. How many more leaders like Phillips are we going to lose before the organization wakes up? It's clear that the rebuild has already begun behind closed doors, even if the messaging to fans says otherwise. Trading Phillips might help in the long run, but it signals a team that's given up on the now. As for the team's health heading into this crucial Week 7 matchup, things are a mixed bag. Elijah Campbell is still out with a quad injury, and Alec Ingold took a rest day for his neck but should suit up. Tua himself was listed with hand and hip issues but was a full participant, so he's good to go. The more interesting wrinkle is at linebacker. Tyrell Dodson, who missed last week with a concussion, is back, but KJ Britt filled in and made an impact, especially against the run. Now there's a real conversation about whether Britt should stay in the starting lineup, at least for specific run situations. His physical presence made a difference, especially when the Dolphins actually showed some fight in the first half against the Chargers. Jordan Brooks remains the Dolphins' most consistent linebacker and should stay on the field full-time. But if Miami's serious about tightening up the defense, Britt has earned a role. We're talking situational football, goal line, short yardage, because Britt is a pure downhill run stuffer. Meanwhile, Dodson might be better in coverage, though still limited. But here's the kicker. The Dolphins continue to bench Willie Gay, and no one really knows why. Again, questionable decisions by a front office and coaching staff that seem lost in the dark. Let's pick up right where we left off, because this situation with Jalen Phillips isn't just about one player, it's emblematic of a franchise at a crossroads. Trading him would send a message, loud and clear, that this front office is more concerned with asset management than cultivating leadership and loyalty. And here's what really stings. This isn't just any guy we're talking about. This is Jalen Phillips, a first-round pick. A guy who battled back from major injuries, Achilles, ACL, you name it, and still managed to be one of the most impactful defensive players on the roster this year. When he's on the field, you feel it. Opposing quarterbacks feel it. Offensive linemen hate seeing number 15 lined up across from them. So if you're a Dolphins fan, you have to ask, what kind of message does it send to the locker room if Phillips gets shipped out? You're telling your team that no matter how hard you fight, no matter what adversity you overcome, you're still just a trade chip if things get tough. That kind of move doesn't build culture. It crushes it, and it creates a ripple effect that we've seen in Miami for years now. Good players walking out the door, leadership voids never filled, and mediocrity becoming the standard. Now, let's shift back to the quarterback. Tua's apology may have closed the chapter on his post-game comments publicly, but behind closed doors, trust is something he's going to have to earn back. Words can be forgiven, but tone and intent linger. His comments made it seem like the locker room was broken, like guys were showing up late, not taking preparation seriously. Maybe some of that is true, but that's not something you air out on a podium after throwing 3 interceptions. That's something you handle like a real leader, behind closed doors, face to face. And I'll say it again, the apology doesn't erase the fact that it felt like he was trying to shift the blame off himself. And now, with every snap he takes, fans and media will be watching closer, not just his play, but his body language, his tone, his leadership. Because once you go public with something like that, everything gets magnified. Tua doesn't just need to win games, he needs to win back the confidence of his teammates. And the only way to do that is to be better on the field and in the locker room. No more distractions. No more excuses. And speaking of being better on the field, this Sunday against Cleveland is do or die. Literally. Both teams are 1-5. Both teams are crumbling. And both head coaches might not survive a loss. Let's not sugarcoat it. If Miami loses to the Browns, led by Dillon Gabriel, no less, Mike McDaniel might be cleaning out his office on Monday. Forget the flashy offense. Forget the cool press conferences. This is a results league. And right now, the results have been terrible. Let's talk matchups. The Browns might be down bad, but their defense still packs a punch. Myles Garrett might be dealing with an elbow injury, but if he's even 80%, that's still one of the best pass rushers in the NFL. If Miami trots out an inconsistent offensive line again, Tua could be in for a long day, especially if the run game doesn't show up, which, let's be honest, has been a recurring problem all season. And it's not just about Garrett. Shelby Harris, Cam Robinson, Joey Tryon, Cleveland's front can create havoc. Then you've got the linebacker conundrum for Miami. We talked about it earlier. KJ Britt versus Tyrell Dodson. Dodson's probably back in uniform, cleared from concussion protocol. But Britt made a statement last week, especially in the run game. He's not flashy. He's not great in coverage. But when the ball gets handed off and the play goes north-south, Britt is the one laying the wood. This team has lacked that kind of physicality all year. It's time to stop playing favorites and start playing the guys who produce. Period. And yet, the Dolphins still refuse to unleash Willie Gay, another head-scratcher from this coaching staff. Gay isn't a perfect linebacker, but with the way this defense has been bullied in short yardage and red zone situations, how is he not getting snaps? What exactly is this staff seeing or not seeing? Let's not forget the bigger picture here. This team started the season with playoff aspirations. And now, halfway through October, we're talking about firing the head coach, trading away foundation.